The coaster war was probably the greatest time to be alive for a coaster enthusiast. From the late 90s to the early 2000s, it was a battle for the world's tallest, longest, and fastest. Parks would drain all of their funding to break the coaster records, just for them to be surpassed in the next season by another park with just as much ambition. With the war came lightning-fast innovation and a whole lot of excited fans, until reality came crashing in and the companies realized large roller coasters actually aren't practical at all and are maintenance nightmares that have more cons than pros in the long term. And so the records were set in stone, coasters began innovating in creativity instead of size, for the rest of time, and we accepted that. Until... Right now, we are here, awaiting the opening of the world's new tallest, fastest, and longest roller coaster, Falcon's Flight, which will completely obliterate all previous records, not to mention these crazy theme parks, and that's just a small snapshot in the story. A Retaliation is already in the works in their rivaling country, the UAE, in the form of a multi-world record-breaking roller coaster, as well as other major theme park expansions, and a whole new Disney resort. This is a war that holds way more potential than the original one ever did, for reasons the Western world can't begin to grasp. But first, let's talk about the context and the coasters. The Arabian Peninsula in the Middle East is the epicenter of oil-rich insanity. The discovery of oil reserves deep under these scorching hot deserts have birthed unfathomably powerful economies that have transcended flatlands into soaring high cities, artificial suburbia, floating urban sprawl, Lamborghini police cars, and the modern world's closest thing to a metropolitan paradise, or dystopia. And now this region's interest in the amusement park industry is at an all-time high, which has unintentionally started what I'm gonna call Coaster War 2. It's primarily being fought in the UAE and Saudi Arabia, with Qatar poking its head in every once in a while. Here are the parks and coasters. The scene starts in 2010 with the opening of Ferrari World in Abu Dhabi, which opened with the world's fastest roller coaster, Formula Rossa. Before this, the entire Middle East did not have any major theme parks or roller coasters beyond a couple privately owned family parks. Funded by Abu Dhabi's sovereign wealth fund, Ferrari World tested the waters and proved to be a major success, pioneering what I'm gonna call Phase 1. In 2016, the UAE welcomed 4 brand new theme parks to their country: Motion Gate Dubai, Legoland Dubai, Real Madrid World, and IMG Worlds of Adventure. The 4 parks, themed to world-famous IPs like DreamWorks, Marvel, and Cartoon Network, totaled nearly $4 billion in investments, and opened with 14 new roller coasters. 2 years later came Warner Bros. World Abu Dhabi, with 2 new coasters about a 5-minute drive away from Ferrari World. From 2021 to 2023, Qatar enters the scene and opens their country's first major theme park, Doha Quest, with Epic Coaster, the world's tallest indoor roller coaster at 186 feet, and opens the world's tallest vertical water park standing at 279 feet tall. An intimate launch coaster called Storm Coaster opens in the Dubai Hills Mall with the world's fastest vertical launch. Another major theme park opens in a 5-minute radius from Ferrari World, SeaWorld Abu Dhabi, a surreal indoor marine life park with 2 new coasters costing over $1 billion. Ferrari World also opens a groundbreaking roller coaster called Mission Ferrari, the world's first dynamic attractions SFX coaster with a highly immersive 4-minute layout. Now, to this point, the entire country of Saudi Arabia is without any major amusement parks. But that all changes in Phase 2, the current phase, the phase where Saudi goes absolutely insane and turns an unusual amount of development into a full-fledged coaster war. In the next 3-4 years, Saudi will open 4 groundbreaking amusement parks, starting with the biggest, Six Flags Qiddiya. Falcon's Flight is pretty much fantasy brought to life. The talk of a 500-foot coaster was treated as the ultimate end goal for decades. There were talks of an RMC T-Rex, but those eventually faded, so a 600-foot coaster being announced to us out of nowhere is witchcraft. It's a black swan event. The runner-up is also a legendary coaster and will be the world's tallest tilt coaster at 208 feet. The next park is a Dragon Ball theme park, also opening in Qiddiya, that is currently limited in details, but is confirmed to be a world-class immersive experience with at least 1 major roller coaster. The other 2 parks are 2 Transformers-themed parks that will both open with their own individual SNS Axis coasters, a long-awaited 4D coaster model and the first of its kind. As Phase 2 is brought to life, we begin seeing signs of a Phase 3. On April 29th of this year, the CEO of Morale officially announced a significant and signature ride coming to Ferrari World, which has been confirmed to be a roller coaster that will break 4 worldwide records. In the same earnings report that confirmed this, the CEO also confirmed that Warner Bros. World will be receiving 2 signature rides, most likely going to the major Harry Potter expansion that is currently under construction. This will end up as the largest land at the park. And finally, on May 7th, Disney has just announced their plans for a theme park resort coming to Abu Dhabi. This will be Disney's 7th theme park destination. Guess what? It's also on Yas Island and will most likely also be in like a 5-minute radius from Ferrari World. It seems as though Saudi will enjoy being at the top for a few years until the UAE claims their spot at the top right back again. Now this war has a lot of potential, a lot more than you may realize, and that's because the motivations of the new war are completely different from the first. Coaster War 1 was fought by amusement park companies, and the motive was to gain publicity, therefore increasing attendance and leading to more money. Coaster War 2 isn't being fought by amusement park companies, it's being fought by governments, specifically the UAE and Saudi Arabia's monarch leaders. Practically all of these new theme parks coming out of the Middle East are government-funded projects, and their motives go beyond publicity and revenue, but the crucial development of their country's economy. You see, both Saudi Arabia and the UAE heavily prioritize one thing: tourism. Why? Because they are both oil-reliant economies, and the oil industry ultimately holds an expiration date, whereas tourism is evergreen. In the last couple of decades, the UAE has been on a mission to transition their economy from being industry-reliant to service-reliant through developing tourism, and it's been a major success. From 1980 to 2024, the oil and natural gas sector in the UAE has gone from accounting for 60% of the country's GDP to 22%, and with it their economy has skyrocketed in growth. Saudi Arabia, while late to the party, is looking to find the exact same success the UAE has had through programs like Saudi Vision 2030, a program dedicated to diversifying the country's economy by the year 2030 through building crazy tourist destinations. But there's a problem. The two countries are neighbors, and the Middle East can only attract so many tourists every year. Right now, the UAE dominates the market, but Saudi is doing everything they can to try and catch up. Unfortunately, they are being met with even more expansions by the UAE, and I believe there's still more to come. This is a war that could impact the coaster industry way more than the first one ever did, because of simply one thing: budget. The world's largest roller coaster practically cost them nothing. Falcon's flight is part of the program Saudi Vision 2030, specifically part of Qiddiya City, an entertainment megacity projected to be complete by 2029. While constructing Six Flags Qiddiya, they've simultaneously been constructing a Dragon Ball theme park, a water park, a stadium that will hold the 2034 World Cup, a racetrack, a gaming district, concert venues, and housing for 500,000 people, virtually creating a city from scratch, all at the same time, while simultaneously building a 170-kilometer-long vertical city run on 100% renewable energy that will hold a population of 300,000. Jeddah, an economic smart city that will have Jeddah Tower, the tallest skyscraper in the world which will surpass the Burj Khalifa. Oxagon, a floating port city on the Red Sea, ski resorts, mega hotels, other theme parks, and about 20 other projects that look like they're from a sci-fi movie that add up to a total of over $1.3 trillion invested in tourism, all simultaneously. All of this while regular amusement park companies risk bankruptcy when dealing with anything more than a couple of new installations at a time. The difference in budget is substantial. The Prince of Saudi holds tremendous financial power foreign to anything in the Western world, and the UAE is almost just as powerful. And these aren't the only two oil-rich countries too. A country like Kuwait could very well suddenly announce some crazy new attractions in the same spontaneous fashion Saudi Arabia did. Right now, we are in the peak of the war as skyscrapers get surpassed and grand collections of new rides and roller coasters get announced. And while most of us won't be able to experience these projects, we certainly can sit back and enjoy watching it all play out. Or crash down. From low attendance to shrunken projects, a lot of it is actually being speculated to fail. If you want to see my previous video on the dark side of Falcon's flight, you can watch it right there.